Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well. This is what is today's date? Lose track. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th, November 5th, 2019. This is a video explanation of my message number 1287 from 1027 and rest on 29 of 2019. Almost caught up. This one and one more, and then we're caught up. See, I haven't reread it, so I'll go over it. Perceiving it as I share it with you. Pour thy knowledge into this bowl. Use it to help me become whole. Okay, so it's my spirit, like the previous one, starting out my spirit speaking, my soul speaking. Pour thy knowledge into this bowl. Use it to help me become whole. Bowl being me, canopic bowls are bodies, belly of the whale are bodies. And use this knowledge to help me become whole. Countless times before, I've walked this land, guided always by thy almighty hand. Again, referencing multiple lives. Usurpers sat upon their self-made thrones throughout the history of mankind. Usurpers to playing God, of saying they're God's representative or God ordained nonsense. Usurpers sat upon their self-made thrones, dispensing power in ways, never in ways the Lord condones. Dispensing power never in ways the Lord condones. They think they did. Joy, and this is just not just kings and queens, rulers, but also religious leaders. Joy passes through in oft known times, shared with others through the rhymes. So joy passed through mankind, the physical world, often throughout history, often throughout the times of man, being shared with others through the rhymes, rhythm and rhymes, not just me, but others. Mother of mercy, bow down to you, and how the wise that bow down to you, Mother of God. Guide my path as I seek to do all that's asked of me each passing day. So I'm praying to her. Show me the one true righteous way. And I get answered. No, it's answered by her or someone else. I'm not sure offhand. Let's see what else it says. But this is the answer. Divine intervention, always a thing. Guidance, authority, it does bring. So divine intervention always brings guidance and authority, direction to your path, revealing your path, and it does bring this to you. You, me, are tasked with many souls, you and others free from canopic bowls. So again, it's not just me, it's many others. Free them from their canopic bowls, again, the body. Journey put forth upon the day, from sacred tent you went thy way. Referencing again what I've been told many times, as I set forth out from the sacred tent. And this is even mentioned, sacred tent is mentioned in the Bible as well. So that's been shared, that's been used many times, many messages. So when I was sent forth on that journey on a specific day, memories return in due time. I'm waiting for more and more memories. Recently, some more have been shared in these recent messages. Life on earth to turn on a dime. Awakening things long forgotten that festered inside became rotten. So I wasn't sure if it's life on earth to turn on a dime in general, which it is, but in my life on earth to turn on a dime. So memories return in due time, life on earth to turn on a dime. That's the thing. You with the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, anything. You can't been setting aside the multiple translations over time and the multiple editings in journalistic or author license, literary license to misinterpret or interpret how they want, so forth. The Word of God, as I've learned just from experiencing, communicating with souls, with spirits and angels, Holy Mother, Lord, and through messages, and the hidden messages in the Bible. Everything that's been shared is very, one, cryptic, two, can have multiple meanings, and three, pertain to multiple people or all people, and specific people at the same time. So you have to keep that in mind, especially when you're reading anything religious, any religious version. So memories return in due time, life on earth return on a dime, awakening things long forgotten in here, and maybe long forgotten in the world, that festered inside became rotten, festered inside me became rotten. Instead, we hold things inside, it becomes rotten to us, uh, like a cancer. So it's important to get things out. And I thought things were out. Many things are still locked inside that from my childhood that I need to get rid of. Which it goes on to say, Tim, the child. Remember, I'm a Lathiel, and cohabitating with Tim, but there's also Tim, the little child is inside me. The little child inside, the little child inside of us all that holds on to these bad memories and experiences growing up. And it's all relative to the person. Me, I was a very quiet, shy, withdrawn child, bullied easily because of that, smaller, so bullied because of that. So a lot of things were trauma to me that wouldn't have been to others. So it's all relative to the specific child growing up and what you experienced growing up and how you brought up. So there's a lot of things still inside uh, the little Tim. Tim, the child, knows of what we speak. Tim, the adult person, can't remember everything that they're talking about. Tim, the child, knows of what we speak. Darkened the door was just a peek. That pertains to a dream I had of this dark black doorway in this red brick, like row house, townhouse, like you might see in like New York City, some other cities back east, other parts of the world. There's no windows; they were bricked over them, but it was a black doorway, not a black door, but a doorway, very pitch black inside. I was very afraid of it in the dream as a child. So this was just a peek of what little Timmy's held inside. So again, the Lathiels got it all together, but Tim, and the young Tims have all those life experiences, still damaged. Perfect needs healing, not whole, just like you and everybody else. So I don't think I'm above everybody else or any different. I'm just more in tune because of Lathiel in me and my experiences with God and the Spirit, which we all can be. Many things long held inside, for which he never cried. That's interesting. And again, tears, two kinds of tears, tears of joy, tears of healing. So when you cry, it's a good thing. Either you're experiencing joy or you're experiencing healing. And the more you can cry those tears of healing, the sooner they turn into tears of joy. So anybody says don't cry, it's not bad to cry. It's weak. Get them out of your life. Don't think of them. Don't listen to them. Cry as often as you need to. Many things long held inside for which he never cried. Unlock. Many of these things unlock as each falls into place, like a tumbler. No more need to hide his face. He can come forth, enjoy being loved and to love. Speak to him with words of love, so advising me, flowing through you from above. So I need to speak and communicate with that inner child, which we all need to do. We will guide and help the cause, releasing all the inner flaws. So they're going to help. The best source of healing and education and everything is from the Holy Spirit, from God. Heightened knowledge shall help thee ascend. Flask of wine then shall amend. So remember that we're a conduit for his light and his grace to flow through us and learn about him and grow in him. And when we build those walls and doorways and everything, it blocks that flow. So we're not a perfect, clear flowing conduit or stream, a river of light. So once this stuff's out of the way, the heightened knowledge will help me to ascend higher spiritually. And the flask of wine, again, that's changing water to wine. As it says in the New Testament, Jesus said, changing water to wine. You can't put new wine into an old wineskin, or it will burst. You can't contain it. So you have to let him transform you into a new, stronger, and bigger wineskin so you can hold more wine, which is of God. So it needs to make you remold you constantly so you can get to that next step. Be a bigger container for more of him. Flask of wine shall then amend. to aid thee in a future travel. Beginning soon it shall unravel. So this needs to happen so I can grow spiritually, have more knowledge, do future tasks, and help me in a future travel, which begins soon as it shall unravel, as it shall be put forth, explained to me, and revealed to me. Beginning soon as it shall unravel, playing out before thy eyes, in mind you'll see through the lies. So it'll be some that'll try to lie to me. The darkness will try to deceive me. It always tries to deceive us, to lead us astray from the path we're supposed to be on. But I'll be able to see through those lies. Intuition, as said, must thee heed. Eyes of God plant the seed. Again, mentioning intuition. Mother Mary mentioned intuition is a gift from God that darkness can affect. We can affect it by shutting it down, not trusting in it, but it's God's viewpoint, perception, His wisdom and knowledge, His sight through us. Precious gift. So trust your intuition. Listen to it. Intuition, as said, must thee heed. Eyes of God plant the seed. Allow to grow to then flourish. So that intuition, the sight flowing through him, that conduit, allows the seed that he plants to grow to then flourish. Soul of thee it shall nourish. All nourishment comes from God. He said, I'll give you all that you need. By the side of canyon scope, you'll be filled all manner of hope. So it's telling me like I'll be standing by the side of a canyon, with a view of a canyon. Well, we live near the Grand Canyon, so I'm assuming it's that. Could be Red Rock Canyon, that smaller canyon nearby, something else. But I'm assuming it's Grand Canyon. That's what came to mind. But I'll be standing by the side of the canyon scope, where I'll be filled with all manner of hope, to strengthen thyself for a purpose, when you both shall stand before us. When you both, I'm assuming either Lathiel Tim or Lathiel Tim and Penelope Danielle. So it's interesting. I'm going to be rejuvenated, filled with hope and strength, and like standing beside this canyon. I and the others, longtime friends. So this is probably not Mother Mary, but probably somebody from past life or somebody who's already around me that's speaking to me. I and the others, longtime friends, armored in light, much more he sends. So I and the others, longtime friends, who are longtime friends with me, probably, are armored in light, come from light, much more he sends. So many more souls he sending me to help in my task. She of virgin status shall flee, who remains the Lord shall free. What came to mind was this virgin girl that lives in this demon inhabited house. She's being held for not just her, many around the world, living under the influence and control of demon controlled parents or spouse or people, not spouse but people. They're keeping them virgin because the devil wants to use them, most likely to seed demons. So, but she's mentioning her, this is local, she of virgin status shall flee. Her mother passed away not long earlier this year. And who remains, the Lord shall free. So the other children that are there, he shall free. So that's good news. Mother comes to guide her to where she'll gain a better view. So her mother just passed away. Is going to come to help guide her. So that's wonderful news. That's what I'm getting from it. Where she'll gain a better view because she gets out of that bad situation. She'll be able, in that control and the lies and deception that feed in their mind. She'll be able to see, hey, the mother really loved her and was a beautiful person, and see the lies and deception that her father's been telling her. Because he's possessed. Secrecy essential at this time. Wait, direction, and future rhyme. So we want to keep this secret. Darkness knows about it because I received it. So, but don't be spreading it out there. Wait, and direction we're given me in future rhyme. Don't despair for sisters to be together again once both are free. So she has a younger sister too that's not possessed. Some of the kids are possessed. Some of them are autistic, easily controlled. But these two are not. So don't despair, for sisters to be together again once both are free. So he's going to free both, which is wonderful news. Part you play shall be revealed. He of power over them repealed. So he revealed part I play in this. I thought I had a bigger part in it, but it turned out it was just not a deterrent, but a deception, but a ruse on the part of God to fool the evil that's there. I still have a part to play, apparently. He of power over them, the demon, Morphus, shall be repealed. He'll lose that power. Sage advice share with she, as it will be given to thee. So sage advice shared with she, a friend that was involved with them, who kind of doesn't keep an eye on them, but aware of them, what's going on. But it could be speaking of Paige here. Sage advice share with she. That's my part is revealed play, so it's probably what it's speaking of. Sage advice share with she, as it will be given to me. I'll have to establish some sort of relationship or contact, a line of communication with her to do that. So if that's the case, whatever, the Lord will make it happen. Now I'll change the subject. Bearers of stone tablets shall be at thy side as you set souls free. So bearers of stone tablets, for me it was 10 Commandments, shall be at thy side as you set souls free. So as I'm setting souls free coming up in their future, whoever bore these stones to Moses, I don't know, it says lightning came down into the mountains. That's how we're taught. That's the Ten Commandments movie version. But somebody gave these commandments to God, to Moses. So the bearers of stone tablets shall be at thy side as you set souls free. So whoever that is coming to help me. Moses passed on to all man time and place according to plan. So it mentions Moses. Moses passed on to this, that confirms the Ten Commandments, passed on to all man, time and place that it happened is all according to plan. When God revealed, hey, these are the things you do not do. Here is the sins. Sin that come into the world. Here is explaining exactly what all the sin is. Ties to those you spoke to then, too shall return the night when the many who gather at or in Sacred Hill seek the return of own free will. So interesting. So ties to those who you spoke to then. So at the time, so I was there at that time and spoke to those who we spoke to then, have ties to them. Maybe I was in a body at the time, or just passed by to communicate something to Moses, whatever. But ties to those I spoke to then, maybe some of my souls I saved at the time, I don't know. But I'm tied to them. Because I know once I send a soul, I'm bound to them, or they're bound to each other. We're all bound to God. Ties to those you spoke to then, too, they too shall return the night when I go to the Sacred Hill, which is nearby here, where there's many who are gathered at / in, so they're both. They were gathered at that Sacred Hill, Native Americans and others, and the ones that are in the hill, that are unable to come out of it, forth from it, because they're served to darkness. They haven't been allowed to do so yet, but they continue to gather as well. So there are many from darkness who seek to go back to the light, the lost sheep. They have to seek the return of their own free will. It can't be forced. Joy shall flow within their hearts, as each through you then departs. Again, on the gateway. As each through you then departs from darkness to light, to dwell within, letting go of all that had been. So from the ones from the darkness to the light, from the mist to the light, to dwell within it, we'll be thus letting go of all that had been, the past. Again, it's letting go, have to let go. Then after that, the journey continues unabated until all thirsts are sated. That pertains to me. My love for thee, my eternal brother, flows through words by Holy Mother. So his love, brother of mine, spiritual brother, flows through them and flows through the words by our Holy Mother. Take to heart all shall come to pass and leave thee. Take to heart all shall come to pass and leave thee no longer numb. That's wonderful, wonderful news. So hope that interesting to you all. Give some meaning. And I'm going to read Matthew 9, chapter 20, I believe, on. Was it chapter 19? I think I did 18, 19. Yes. Chapter 20. For the kingdom of heaven, this is Matthew 20. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. So he's getting all these people to go out and tend to his vineyard. It sounds like servants of Christ, servants of God, going out and tend his vineyard, which is the world. So they went. He went out again about noon, and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing, gathering more. God continues to gather more, send out more servants. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." In other words, because no one has hired us, in other words, those are the ones that have not heard the call. When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received Now he agreed to all of them to pay a denarius. So each received a denarius. And so when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more because they were there longer. That's not what he promised. He promised everybody the same thing. Everybody is promised the same thing. They heed the call. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "These who were hired last worked only 1 hour," they said, "and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the work in the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius?" How many of us agree to something, and then somebody else comes along and they make the same amount, and we're disgruntled? Why? "Take your pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous?" Doesn't God have the right to do with how treat people, or treat each other equally, or however he wants? He's the creator. So the last will be first, and the first will be last. Those who in this world think they're first, that they're due things that they're not due, they're due more than other people, they have more than other people, they're wealthy and powerful, all that, and famous, they're going to be last. And those who are humble and the least in the world are going to be first. So all this seeking acclaim and fame and fortune and wealth and power, as Solomon says, chasing after the wind. So you're wasting your time. Now Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. On the way, he took the 12 aside and said to them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death. They will condemn him to death and will hand him over to the Gentiles, be mocked and flogged and crucified. On the third day, he will be raised to life." Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to Jesus with her sons, and kneeling down, asked a favor of him. "What is it you want?" he asked. She said, "Grant that one of these 2 sons of mine may sit at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." "You don't know what you are asking," Jesus said to them. "Can you drink the cup I am going to drink?" "We can," they answered. Jesus said to them, "You will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father." Already been prepared. Everything part of the plan. Already be prepared. Everything that's happened, is happening, and yet to happen, all part of his plan, formed long ago. When the 10 heard about this, they were indignant with the 2 brothers. Jesus called them together and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. You must humble yourself. And whoever wants to be the first must be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Again, Jesus is a representation, the symbol of God wanting to help us, to serve us, to take care of us, and guide us and provide for us. As Jesus and his disciples were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. 2 blind men were sitting by the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shouted, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us." The crowd rebuked them. and told them to be quiet. But they shouted all the louder, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us." Jesus stopped and called them. "What do you want me to do for you?" he asked. "Lord," they answered, "we want our sight." Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes. Immediately they received their sight and followed him. They believed who he was. He was just passing by, hadn't seen or heard him before. Now they were either moved by the Holy Spirit to do so, in which case, because their hearts were open to it, open heart and mind, or because they were lowly, or God used them as an example, physical example for others. So many others in this world today have to be able to see and hear and feel, touch something with their physical senses. That's why they're led astray so easily. So that's that. Chapter 21 on the next video. Hope you're getting some enlightenment through all this, some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just one small thing, that's wonderful. Seeds will grow. About the rest of your day. Sleep well. In any part of the world you're at. Peace of Christ. God bless. Amen.